In this video, we show some of the updates for newer versions of eStitcher. In Garment Creation 101, we covered the new styling tool options available in the 2020 May edition. These include Focus Styling, Erase placed within the Brush tool, and the Move tool. Let's look in more detail at some of the use cases for Focus Styling and the Move tool. Focus Styling, when selected, allows us to pinch the garment and only affect the simulation for the area affected by that tool and the immediate surrounding parts of the garment. This makes pinching a little stickier, as seen here. It only affects the selected area, and the rest of the garment remains as is. The bigger the radius selected, the bigger the area where the simulation is triggered. This effect allows us to make precise selections on small details of our garment. For instance, assume we want to adjust this front placket to turn out slightly for styling purposes. Let's try to use the regular styling first. The whole bodice moves as well, and it may be difficult to turn out the placket using just the pinch tool. Let's try the focused effect. Since the simulation of the rest of the garment is not affected, it's easier to pull and turn out just a small portion of the placket. Notice also how this simulation reacts much faster to this pinch than the regular pinch. This is particularly useful when styling heavy garments like puffy jackets or multi-layered garments. The Move option allows us to move pattern pieces in 3D without triggering further simulation or causing any collisions with the avatar or other pieces. This is best utilized with the 3D gizmo as it makes moving the patterns much easier. The Move tool is useful if we need to adjust the position of a pattern without having to do a lot of pinching. Another use case would be for garments with linings or multiple layers. If we want to style the bottom layer, we can move the top layer, lock it, disable stitches, and make styling adjustments to the inside of the garment. Then we unlock the top layer, use Move to put the pattern back in its original position, enable stitches, and dress. Note that we can also multi-select patterns and move them from the styling pane or the 2D window. In the 2020 May edition and newer, when loading snapshots, hovering over the thumbnail triggers the display of a hamburger icon. Clicking the icon displays a menu of available options. Save Colorway and Avatar loads the current snapshot on the saved avatar and the colorway this snapshot was originally saved in. For instance, if this snapshot was originally saved in the yellow colorway, even though we are on the purple colorway, clicking this option loads the garment in the yellow colorway. Current Colorway and Avatar loads the snapshot on the saved avatar and the current colorway. For instance, clicking on this option doesn't load the purple colorway. Instead, it loads the colorway we're already in. Note, if the saved colorway and the current colorway are the same, this option is disabled. Saved Colorway Garment Only and Current Colorway Garment Only both work like the previous two options. The only difference is that it loads the snapshot on the avatar that is in the 3D window using the saved colorway. This is a quick option when we want to switch to another avatar without having to simulate the garment from Prepare. For example, if we've adjusted the avatar's measurements and want to dress it on the new avatar. To make this work, the new avatar should be in a similar pose as the saved snapshot. After loading the snapshot, we click the Styling tool and click the Move option. We can then marquee select all the patterns and use the 3D gizmo to position the garment appropriately on the new avatar. We dress the garment and click Finish to create a new snapshot with the new avatar. In 2020's September edition, we have extended support for the Undo/Redo function. Undo/Redo now supports actions related to the 3D operations like 3D styling. This is helpful in cases where we've made a mistake when adjusting the styling of the garment. In the older versions, we needed to use the snapshots to save the previous iterations of the garment. With the new Undo/Redo option, we can click Undo to view the previous drape. Undo/Redo now supports other actions. For details, you can read up more in the Help Center. If you'd like to read up more on new features, visit the What's New page on our Help Center.